Hello everybody, it's Anoj here, and we are here to talk about Cyberpunk 2077 and the next big update that's going to be arriving soon, I hope. The patch 1.5 update, and everybody is kind of talking about how it's going to be this, big thing. And I hope it's the next big thing for CD Projekt Red for this game. I think the news outlets said that it's going to come with the next true gen console experience. Because the version we got before on consoles or the PS5 and the Xbox One X versions were the PS4, the Xbox One versions of the game, so it wasn't the true next-gen versions for the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. And yeah, with that, I think we're gonna get more a really big update for PC, fixing a lot of the issues this game has. Of course, they already fixed some of the issues, with the previous patches. But I don't know if it's going to be this kind of revive of the game, and that some of the YouTubers are kind of talking about. But I do hope it is. I do want to play this game again and see what it is that CD Projekt Red was trying to make. Instead of it being the Rush game that got released back in December 2020. So I wanted to put my thoughts out there before I play this this patch 1.5. I played this game for about 160 hours. I played all 3 paths, and I had a good experience. I had fun with it. I had more fun with it than the console versions, for sure, because the console versions were by far the ones that had the most issues. Of course, I had a pretty powerful PC that since I upgraded, but when I played this game I had a GTX 1080 Ti and a AMD Ryzen 3900X, which was top end premium, one of the most powerful PCs out there. So I was hoping I would be able to play this game at max settings, but I was not able to. I had to put down some settings. I think I even played with the resolution turned down to get about 60 FPS. If I played at high settings and at 1440p on a GTX 1080 Ti, I would get about 40 to 50 FPS around there, and they would dip down even more on a city dense area. So the performance was kind of disappointing in that sense, but the game does look beautiful. Graphically it was impressive, but story-wise it was an okay story. It was it was a cool story, but it was in a really fleshed out story, I would say, that The Witcher is known for. Of course they had the lore to go with the books. Cyberpunk also had lore with they were working with the creators, so I would have hoped that they would had. I guess they ran out of time to flesh the story out as it was. But yeah, the story was okay in my opinion. The characters I liked. A lot of these side characters like Panam and Judy were great. Of course, Keanu Reeves I liked. But I think when you look at this game, one of the most disappointing aspects was the story. because they were saying this was supposed to be like this next gen RPG experience, but it was not that experience that we got. It was just a regular experience, and with all the three playthroughs I did with a Nomad, Corpo, and Street Kid, after 2 hours, after the first 2 hours, they were the same story. They converged to the same storyline, and with the game mechanics, like all the skills and weapons available to you, they were cool, but it's looking back, I think it was limited, you know. There weren't a lot of guns, or melee weapons were bats or katanas. You got the mantis blades, which was cool. I think my first run was done with the mantis blades, did a melee run with katana too, and with the corpo run I did a tech weapon kind of run with my sniper rifle, which was cool. And I think with the Street Kid I did a melee fist run. Some of the, the weapons were unique and cool. I'm cutting in here to talk about also the customization of the vehicles, and how I think at one point they promised us that we would be able to customize our own vehicles, but then they took that back and said we can buy pre-customized vehicles, and that was also a big disappointment to go along with the lackluster kind of weapon selection also. And that might be one of the most disappointing things, where we can customize our own cars to our liking. And the game is big. The map is big, and it's a dense map with a lot to do, in that sense. It's a good game. You can explore a lot. You can do these side stuff, but I don't think this game looks, even now when I'm looking at it, it looks beautiful. And yeah, you could say that graphically it's close to next gen, but with all the glitches, bugs it had, it was kind of ruined. And yeah, playing on PC, I encountered a lot of bugs, but I don't think I encountered nearly as many as console players did. With bugs like your arms and legs stretching to infinity, and you clipping into other NPCs, cars spawning out of nowhere, and of course the famous police appearing out of nowhere. Yeah, with that, the experience was muddled with that experience, with all the bugs and stuff. I hope that this next update adds a lot more to this game, and I hope it fixes almost all the bugs and glitches. I know they have fixed a lot with the previous patches, but they need this update to be as perfect it can be. I know it's a lot of pressure, but I think they need to make sure that this next update, it improves the performance. You add new content to this game for us to do, for people who already beat the game, and add new materials, weapons and armor and stuff to craft. And I think this game can get close to being the next gen experience that we wanted out of it. But I think I said all that I wanted to say. While playing it in December 2020, you know, I was kind of like, I know people had a bad time, have a bad time playing this game, but I'm having fun, so... but of course I played it on PC where there were the least amount of problems, but there were still a lot of problems on PC. But after I had finished playing, after a couple of days, I kind of saw, I kind of, you know, kind of clicked that this game was not the game that they promised us, and that is disappointing. So I hope, but I still love this game for what it is, so I hope they can improve it more with this next update. And that's all of my thoughts. So thank you everybody for listening. I appreciate it. You guys have a good night, good day. I'll see you next time. Peace out.